I beg your pardon?
I said goodbye, vamoose, adios, ciao, so long, get your hat jack.
Oh, don't make me beg now.
Hey, baby.
Voyeur Voyage. Voyeur Voyage. This is Voyeur Voyage.
Voyeur Voyage.
This is Voyeur Voyage.
Not quite Voyeur Voyage, but here we are, Spied Life. Who dis? This is a show that myself and Mad Cave.
Who this?
I'm sorry, I said that already. We've decided we want to go back in time a little bit. We've been around for a while with Spied Life. We've seen many people come, many people go. And if you're saying to yourself, Mikey, what is Spied Life? Spied Life is, well, it's a reality show. It's an Italian box show. It's cams in people's houses, seeing real people doing real things in real time. Of course, the number one person that's over there on Spied Life right now, this guy right here, this handsome son of a bitch, Mad Cave. Good to see you, bud.
Who's this?
That's you. That's me.
Oh,
And you.
no, I pointed at you. Hello. Thank you for letting me be here.
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you for being here. Yeah. How are you?
I'm
You're
great.
fine.
I'm great.
I know you're fine. We have talked before, but
This is something I've looked forward to because, it's something we stumbled upon. Spied Life is a website anybody can go to. You can watch it anytime you like on your own. But the adventure is seeing these families either grow or go. Because some of them grow and do great on here. And then there's people who come and they, not so much. They're here for a little while and they're gone.
Yeah, and
Your
some
Spied's been here a
families
while.
grow, but you don't see them anyway.
Yeah.
But so there is all sort of it's a mix. It's a mix, but there is lots of camps that has been much more than many may think.
No, it's been around a lot
That's
longer than
yeah.
Yeah, it's been around forever.
Yeah, it kind of has, and the thing is that there are that we see today has been for a long time, and people like, this is the camps, and nothing happens, and no new ones come. But new ones, we are the new ones. Many of us are the new ones because it has been so many other cameras around that dropped out for different reasons, and that is a little bit what we're going to talk about in this little series. And so and hello everyone that says hello and so on. By the way, I wanted to start, if it's okay with you, because I think that many of out there don't hola doesn't know, they think, yeah, Spied Life is something new that they throw up, but it isn't. It is not a new thing. The concept of Spied Life may be new. It's been around now for a while, but this is have a base that is much older. Spied Life is an evolution from an idea of one of the producers, Mario. He had back in the days, 2006, he started this with something called Vitalis Spiate. I don't know if I pronounce it correctly. Vitalis Spiate.
I think I ordered that at Olive Garden one time. I
Yeah,
believe the tour of
with the-
Italy and the Bianca Bianca, what you just
Yeah.
said.
Yeah, and I want the Vitalis Spiale with the spaghetti and macaroni. And there is lots of the videos on YouTube. You can check it out. It started out around 2016, and had some seasons and so on. But it was another concept. It wasn't just, hey, we can put the camera in this home. It was, oh, we take a home and we put people in here
Mhm.
that doesn't know each other.
So it was kind of like a big
little
brother.
big brother.
concept.
Yeah, exactly. A little big brother concept. So that's how it started, and then he met some people from a Skyline webcam site. That's a quite big campsite for outdoor cameras and so on. This episode is not sponsored by Skyline Webcam, but we could be if we want to. And together with them, they started to get the idea of Spied Life, and that's how Spied Life started. So it has a long background. They had also VIP cameras, even. They had this VIP camera idea on Spied Life a
Yeah,
little while with that Big Brother chick. Didn't go as well as they planned, I think, because there is no more VIP. But they had that back then also with famous people like sports people and so on. But they put the cameras at their home, so they
Right.
weren't living in the house and so on. So and this, I think many don't know this, and I wanted to give this little story how this came to life, Spy Life.
Basically, the history is so rich with this program, and we had no idea when we first stumbled across it because we were looking for basically cameras around the world. We just wanted to see people in places, not so much people in their homes. And when we found it, we were kind of taken back. I'm not gonna lie, we thought it was an adult site. We're like, uh-oh, we can't show this. This is this lady's gonna start taking her clothes off in a few minutes, but it wasn't. So we continued to watch because we kind of got invested. We started out in a joking way. We're very jokey around here anyways. But as we got to know the people, we become invested in, okay, are they all right? Is anything, why are they acting this way today? Why are these things in their house? We decided to take it apart more and give it its own life. Not that it didn't have life already, but as you put more into it and you become more invested and bring the people around you that are watching online into it as well, it became its own thing with us. So as we become invested with people, we didn't expect people to go away like they did. People started leaving that we really had got to know. And I think that was something that threw me and Creed both off, that, we had developed these relationships, so to say, with these people when we do voyage, and now they're gone. They're going away. So you had told me off air that there's been a lot of people on that we had never seen before. So today we're going to talk about some people we have seen before, that are some of my favorites, Creed's favorites. And we're going to dig a little deeper. Perhaps maybe you have some insight that you've been able to dig up and help us out. But it's one of these, you'd put it one way one time. It's like people we lost in battle. It's like, these were our compatriots. They'd fallen to the wayside and we don't know why.
No, and I can say I when it comes to that, everyone that's watching and think we sit on information about why this person left and so on. I can say sorry, but that's not going to happen because first of all, of course, the production can't say that. Oh, due to respect of the people, yeah, and there's contract and all that, and for both me and Mikey, especially Mikey, that is so occupied with all other things, to try to track down these people that we barely sometimes know the names of, and ask them, why did you leave? It's impossible. We're not having that time, but we can speculate. And that is the fun part of this, to speculate. And maybe you guys out there do know something more than we know, because I know several of you has been here longer than both Mike and me, probably. And I look like a fucking ghost.
Well,
I'm so white.
It's all that
It's a
reverse
camera.
tanning you've been doing. You're a vampire. The biggest thing, you just mentioned something about contracts. Are there contracts these people sign when they come in?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
A year, or have to do 6 months? Is there a length of time that they're obligating to?
No, you don't. I will not go in too much about the contract details, because contract is contract, and it's nothing like we give you must give the soul to us and so on. It's a quite standard contract, what you can do and not can do and so on. But we need to keep the cameras on and so on. Of course, we can turn them off sometimes also if we need to and so on. But it's not like you sign up for. There may be different contracts also,
Oh, okay.
but because I came in, they can have changed the contracts from earlier and so on. So I can't speak for, but I can speak for me. There is not like you sign up for 2 years and so on, but there is also of course that you should, if you don't in here anymore, you should send back all the things and so on. And there we have a little. I don't think there is too many that don't do that. Bastards, I must say.
And that's something that we had spoke about too, because they give you the cameras. They send you everything you need to get started.
Yeah.
And the only thing they ask is when you're done doing it, send the cameras back, and they can't. Sometimes I guess they will not return the camera.
They can, of course they can. I can tell you, they even pay for it to be shipped back.
Oh wow!
They just don't give a fuck. I'm sorry. I'm used the F word. And
use it.
If I were having this, I would be so disappointed about that, because that's theft. That's stealing. And for something, they need. This is not just a webcam; it's a little box and all that, and it's a small computer, and it's configured, and you can't even get into that. You need to hack it or something then. So I don't know why, but I just saying. So Oh, that go Mad Cave's tanning fund. Yeah, but that goes for Mikey's beard fund.
I'm gonna dye my beard tomorrow. Thank you, legendary Mayor. Mary likes turtles. That's a very generous. All of a sudden, people want to give us money this morning. Please excuse me. Everybody wants you tan. Have you ever tanned before? Have you done like a spray tan or anything like that?
No, I can tell you guys. I am not this pale. I have a little color, but
like-
this camera is so. It's like making ghost even of a brown person. So,
Yeah,
but I am not. I haven't the skin for getting brown.
I don't have
So-
the skin for getting brown. Thank you, Tico Taco. And of
Yes.
course, Dave coming in. Also, Copper Tone Fun.
I've been brown once, though.
Well,
And I
I'm glad to hear that. That worked out.
But I also I used brown without sun once. My girlfriend I had back then were trying to do that. Oh, you should use this, and I looked like a fucking carrot for months.
So it was like the roll-on tan.
Yeah, no, it was a cream you had.
Oh.
Oh, and I looked, I were like orange almost, like I looked like a carrot, a living carrot. Well, enough about that. So yes, Spied Life, it has been around for quite a while, and also it has been before it was even Spied Life. Before we go into the cameras, is it okay if I talk a little bit about the future also?
Let me do this real quick. Let me do some business.
Okay.
real
Oh
fast.
my God.
Thank you, Carol.
Well,
And Flusha back at it again. Headlights fun. Go ahead.
yeah. Because I talked a little bit about the future. Oh no, the past. The past.
We're in the past.
Oh, my girlfriend's name was Monica. It was a female. Yes, I am not gay. Many think that.
What do you
I
think
could
they
be
think?
if you pay me to be. If you want, Dave, I can pay. If you pay me the right price, I can be it for you. That's no problem. Just for a day, though.
Just
but the
for
price,
10 minutes. That's
yeah,
it.
10 minutes, and if the price is right, and you need to do the job. So next up, there is in a couple of weeks. I don't have exact date.
Mm-hmm.
It's starting a new project on Spied
New.
Life. Yes.
Now we have seen a few things about the Friends in Manila. I
Yeah,
believe
yeah.
that's what
It's
called.
that is now coming closer and closer to the start, where they go back to this being in a house with the cameras, bring people in. They're going back to the concept that this all started with, and it's going to be a part of Spied Life. And the friends in this name, it has a story.
Mm.
Ooh.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, it's a reference. It's a reference to. Can you guess what, Mikey? Show your brain.
I,
What do you think?
I can't show it. People, I'll get in trouble if I show my brain. I mean, there's trouble,
Yeah,
right, bud?
Yeah, but
So what's it in reference to?
yeah. What is the name?
Friends in Manila.
What could the reference be?
Is it referring to like the show Friends?
Ta-da! Yes, it's a reference to that show, the classic show way back. Yeah. And let's have a vote. The people in the chat, listen up, hear me, hear me, hear me. Stop chatting and be quiet and listen. I want to say, who do you think has the camera, the location as it were called in the beginning, is the one that started, has been longest on Spied Life? We give it a 5-6 minutes. Give the guesses, and in the chat.
So we're trying to figure out which one of these families that are currently on Spied Life has been on the longest.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Who started? Which one was the first camera to be on and still is on? Yes, still is on. So go back, not now, but go through your head and see, which cameras is it? And yeah, it's not me. So you can stroke me out from it. So yeah.
Okay, so I want to start out by talking about somebody who me and Creed, basically, that's the person that we found first. The very first time that we came through, we saw the person that roped us in was Deena. Now, a lot of people know her as Deena simply because we didn't know her name. We didn't know anything about her except for that we saw her sitting on this couch like this many times with her dogs, and that was it.
Well, she lived on that couch.
She really did. She really
Yeah.
did. She had two cameras. One was this one right here that would shoot from the kitchen, and the other, of course, you can see there in the corner right here. This was the other one she had. I apologize for the quality because these had to be snagged from our old videos. And the main things we learned about her right away was she liked to stack bottles. She had bottles everywhere. They were constantly stacked around here in the dining room area. We found out later she had a maid that came through and cleaned her house.
And
We
her
also found out
mom
that
sometimes.
she was in acting or something. Or a model. Do you know anything about her?
No, she was as far as I understood, she was working as a filmmaker. But when I started to watch this, I got to learn that she didn't. She worked at like a film studio, but more in the reception. That was what I got. Yeah.
So she wasn't so much an actress. She was a receptionist at like a film studio.
Maybe she was both, but I don't know because she were listed on Spied Life as a filmmaker. That was her opinion. But when I saw her chatting, sometimes she mentioned that she worked at a studio as a receptionist or and have like administration and so on. But that was what I were told. I read from the chat, so I'm just go for her words there. Uh, but you know that she started to under COVID. Remember, this was under COVID times.
Right. That's when we started watching. Yes.
Yeah, and if we're going to, yeah, definitely the COVID time, or she's being anti-robbed. Someone is coming with.
She just robbed the DoorDash
Yeah,
guy.
yeah. So the thing is, I'm noticed a change on this cam. I don't know if you guys did it.
We did. We did. It was it got to the point where we got worried about her, because we were invested in Deena. That Deena is not her name.
No. Her name is Rael. So sorry, Rael.
We were amazed about how she would sit with her knees up and eat massive amounts of food at one time and then not eat for the same days. This clip right here is a very good example of how we would say she was feeding. She would come in and she's about to eat a massive amount of McDonald's, like several sandwiches, desserts, everything.
Yeah,
all at once
that's
here.
sounds like me.
Yeah. So
I could do that also.
Then we would see her sitting depressed at the computer, looking very sad. We tried not to read too much into it, but she had these two dogs. She had the puppy pads right over here by the trash can that would drive Creed crazy when she would step on them after they peed and pooped all over them. And it seemed like a slow decline in her mood overall. You'd see her really perk up when people would come over. It could be just the house cleaner here, or it could be she had like a lady friend that would come over that they would sit and make out on the couch every once in a while. In their bras. It was really weird. So you said you noticed a change in her as well. What did you notice?
Yeah, I think COVID, especially with the lockdown and so on, has taken its toll. I think the lockdown took toll because on her also.
Uh-huh.
This is just my speculation. But I saw when I began to see this, more happy, more active, and went. I think she is a social person, but so I saw. But she also made a decision there. Um,
Thank you,
she
Fred.
started to study.
Yes. Yes.
She did. That's why she were up late because I think she had some courses overseas that was out of hers. So she were up really late sometimes and having like a chat over the computer, and that one where she were study. I don't know on to what. I know she started to study and so on. Um, but I also noticed that um, it was messy sometimes, but
Mhm.
it got like more and more. It was like stocking up. So I were worried also because that's also a sign that you're starting to get a little depressed. You don't care that much, and people coming and cleaning for you. I think her mother were there sometimes, even if I don't and clean then. So that's but yeah. So she changed in a little way, sadly, and I don't. I wonder what's happened. I think she started and don't. I think and people also started to change in the chat.
Yes, that was something I was about to talk about. If I remember correctly, please like this video. If I remember correctly, there was a lot of issues with harassment in the chat. There were times I saw her in there telling people not to personally message her. I guess they were finding her Facebook, Instagram, things like that, and they were messaging her very nasty things and things like that. And people automatically assume if you see a woman with cams in their house, they're a slut, they're up to no good, they're disgusting, they're out like it's OnlyFans or something. And I don't believe that was the case with her. She was
No, it's not the case of anyone here.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Um, the thing is, I also saw that change in the chat, and people were, and I'm going to be honest, something that makes me a little sick almost. I'm ashamed sometimes to be a man.
Mm-hmm.
When I see the chat, I'm ashamed because all males, how they are like apes, or with I think even fucking apes is better sometimes. It's like they're thinking with their balls and being so rude behind their keyboard. I'm guessing 90% of them have never ever even met a woman, or because if I don't know, it's sickening sometimes, and I think that got to her finally also, and together with all these other things in life, COVID and all this, and not being able to work, and that's what I'm guessing. I don't really know, but I saw lots of that she tried to stop before she disappeared. um, she hasn't disappeared, I hope, but from the side,
Right.
that she stop, please don't. And I think that, as we said, they went outside SPIEDLIFE also, so all her safe zones before Facebook and Instagram also, they started to come there, and then it gets too much. It's one thing to not look at the chat in here, but getting bling, okay, here I have my friends, my family, I need to be here, I need to look here, and start to ban. I have people sending nude pictures to me quite often.
Men?
For example, yeah, it's for real. I have people. I have some that sends, and they think that I'm not. I'm not
You
a
sexy
shy.
bastard.
I'm not shy or anything, and I am not prude but it's so strange that some people think if I say hi and send a picture of me nude, showing my boobs and so on,
Right.
that's a good opener for a conversation. I think he's going to reply. That shows that something is not really correct. So
All right. So, with that all being said, it seemed like once we got to know her and she developed, Creed brought up a good point. We noticed she, along with her studies, she was doing some interesting cam type work. I don't know what she was doing. She would just sit in front of the camera. You could see her on the video and you could see her sitting there. So we didn't know if she had started some sort of online business or something like that. Here's a perfect example. This was the night that we saw her doing these things. Again, we weren't sure if it was something like that or something continuing on with her slow decline in what was going on. We weren't sure if it had almost broken her to this point where she was not, because she was our favorite. I can say that. No, she was someone who consistently was there, consistently had something going on, even if it was just her on the couch and the dogs running around. It was her going away that was, I think, one of our biggest losses. It really was. For her to go away was a huge, huge loss for us. You don't really know. Do you know how long she was on the site before she left? Like, what was her
No.
duration?
No, I don't. But I think she was at least a year. I have a little trouble with time. Uh, it's an issue for me. I can't like get a real good perspective on time. So it's an issue I have. So it could be out like 6 months or so. I don't have asked and so on the production and lots of those. How long was that one? Because it's too much for them also to dig through and check. So I haven't investigated either. So, but she were a quite long time, at least
And if
6 months.
And if I remember correctly, I don't remember her ever being, once we figured out, okay, they're ranked. I don't ever remember her being ranked highly. And
No, she was around middle, I think.
yeah, about the middle of the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the time. And, I would have thought, when I think, okay, so and so should be number one for this and this reason, it never pans out that way. It never goes the way I think the viewing is going to go. It's always a complete different way. It really is.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And that is quite weird. Look at me. I have no idea why I am at number one at the moment, I think. But that's how it is. What you think may be what many aim for, using or
Yeah.
whatever, doesn't really work. And that makes me happy because you see, there is something else that people is watching and
Right.
want from the cameras, and it's a mystery, but it's a lovely mystery.
Good to see you, Richard. The next family we're going to start talking about, you have, I didn't know this until we've talked, off of here, that you had links to in a way. You were trying to help them. This family would be right behind Deena as far as a favorite of ours and a favorite of really the Voyeur Voyage family, the M&R family, who I've called M&M. I've called the Miracle family. I've called them a lot of different things. They were very interesting. What was your whole involvement with them?
Oh, you're talking about M&R, and that's Mildred and Roger. What's their name? Lived in California. Beautiful, beautiful view out of the mountains, and yeah, it was awesome view. People talks about my views, but that was a view to die for. Now, maybe not to die for, but it was really good. Um, and oh my, they are the reason I am on SPIEDLIFE.
Okay.
Because um, it started. They were quite new when I came. I think they even when I started to see here, they came on right about after I started to be on SPIEDLIFE. So I haven't been from start here, and they had so much problem. And for some reason, I connected quite good with Mildred and Roger also. I even made a song for Roger, and I also sent him a T-shirt with Dr. Pepper because he was totally into Dr. Pepper. So I bought him a T-shirt. This was when I had work and earned money. So so I bought him a T-shirt too. But they had so much issues. First of all, they had 4G or 5G, and they hit the limit on a contract that was not unlimited. No, it wasn't.
Yes.
So and they
Unlimited.
tried to buy unlimited. They could pay more for it, but they could no that. So they needed to change the operator or internet provider, and that fucked up. I spent weeks. That's no lie. I were awake because time difference. I remote control their computer, and all night I tried to fix it, and I set up everything. I did everything I could, but it ended up with there's huge difference between Sweden, for example.
Mhm.
And you say we say you have unlimited bandwidth, you have unlimited download, you have unlimited, you can never hit any. But hey, they bought new internet provider. Oh, unlimited? No, it wasn't. They hit the limit all the time and bad connections. And that cracked. Mildred was really sensible. She wasn't in balance. They used this SPIEDLIFE she wanted this to get out a little more, to get people to learn, to be seen and heard. She were alone up in the mountains with Roger and the kids and some neighbors and so on. But so it was a project for her to do something special. And all these problems with this internet, first of all, she couldn't handle that. She started to shake and so on. That's also why I felt sorry. I wanted to help,
They weren't on very long at all, right? I mean,
no,
they were.
I can, and I must say that then this chat started to, because Roger smoked weed a lot.
Mm-hmm.
They all grown or their own weed and all that, and and it's legal there. And
Right.
he had been in a coma for over a year.
What? Hold
Yeah.
on.
Yeah,
Roger had been in a coma for a year?
he had been in a coma for over a year.
For what?
I think it was 2 years even, but I don't give it take here, but it was a long time. I can tell you this because they spoke about this also. This is not secret. They have mentioned it. Roger were a badass guy.
Okay.
He has been a really badass guy. The reason he changed his life is Mildred. They got together. He said, I can't continue with this. That's why they moved to California and started a new life. But he has also been in a coma after a bad motorcycle accident.
Okay. See,
So
that kind of makes sense with some of the activity we've seen with him and things like that, and the way. So he'd been in coma for 2 years.
At least 1 year. But if I remember, I'm 53 years old. I can remember wrong, but I think he said 2 years. but let's say between 1 and 2 years. So so he had, not only was it legal, he was prescribed to use this. He had a prescription from the doctor to smoke for
Right.
pain, and he had issues from that. So
I know there was a lot of times when people would really watch them. I mean, watch them. And there were some claims that they were doing stuff other than, I can't say if Mildred was or if it was just Roger. They were doing things they shouldn't be in the drug world outside of smoking weed and stuff like that. So I don't know.
I have
can't
never seen
confirm.
anything about, no. Mildred didn't even drink. She don't even drink.
And these
So-
kids that Mildred had was from her first marriage, correct?
Yeah. And Roger has also kids. But they. Roger is a tattoo artist, that many, of course, you have seen, and so on. So the thing is, the reason they left was because it was double, because it was both due to all the problems with internet. It broke her spirit, and then people in the chat, because you said people were watching. I bet you that this was the one that went from bottom to almost, I don't know if they were on top, but they were top 3 at the fastest rate on SPIEDLIFE.
Oh, I believe it.
Because
There he is doing
what I've
tattooing, by the
seen,
way,
at
right
least,
there.
they
That's the Roger.
skyrocketed.
Yeah, I remember
when
them
they
being
started.
close to the top a couple of times.
Yeah,
but
they skyrocketed, but then internet problems started, and of course they lost viewers and so on. But it went really high up for them, and why? Because things happened. When things happen on a camera, they were real active, and they showed everything in their life. I remember when people were so mean. She grew up her first chickens, and the chicken were in and one looked like it was dead. Yeah, and she every hour for 2 days never slept. She went up and fed that, dropped, and you need to, you're stupid, it's dead. That chicken after 2 days came alive. But they didn't manage, but it was, she put, and she was crying every time, and people just throwing that she was bad, she was
Right.
dead. They don't see on camera. We can see something, but we don't know. You can't see if a chicken's heart beats or not.
And in defense of everyone who has ever done that, snap judgments. We're making snap judgments on what we see on this little flat screen when you look at it. Snap judgments, just like I just seen her eating Chips Ahoy cookies in bed at 8 o'clock in the morning.
But we don't know anything backstory or what around around things.
Yeah.
So
look at
they
that.
had, it's what's amazing, and when they had it, it was, and they had lots of animals. So that's why I think they showed their emotion. They fight. Oh my God, they could fight, and they made up, and they were sweet to each other, and they fight again, and it was up and down, and the animals, the kids were active. Then came in, at least the daughter was like hi and talked and so on. So that's why I think many liked it, but many hated it also, because this was a guy who were smoking weed and had tattoos. People judge.
Oh, of course.
Many people do, and not all, of course. But they saw that person, and they maybe heard something. They didn't look beyond to see the people, I think.
So do you think they went away because of the internet issues, or because they just were not feeling all the negativity they were getting from like
both,
chat?
both, because this is no secret. She spoke open about that. Mildred suffered from depression or lots of issues like that. Father died and all stuff like that. So she were really sensible. So I think she took what people said, like she said, it really got to her. If you say like something, I can then you know.
Right.
But if you're
She took it to
sensible,
heart too
that
much,
hurts.
yeah.
And then you have problems with internet that you're like, oh no, my thing here is not working that I wanted to do. It gets too much. So that's the thing. I can tell you now that she now work with nails. She
Mean
started
she's
a
a
company.
carpenter, or what do you mean?
No, nails.
Fingernails.
Yeah, fingernails. She paints and do fingernails. She started a company.
I remember, Creed, that what Creed's talking about. Not too long ago, they were back, but it seemed like for just one day, and they had
I can tell you, I talked to them because remember you and me and those we talked about them and said that. And I told that people were missing. As we said, you said, oh, so I told them, why don't you come back? People are missing it because I know others are doing that. So they put up. They just had kittens.
Yes, that's it, kittens.
Yeah. So they put up a camera, mobile camera. For the cats, pointing at cats.
Mm-hmm.
But there were so much critic directly in the chat about how boring and all that and bam, 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 so they started with, people that came and, nice, you're back. But then the new generation that didn't know about those guys.
None of the history.
That came and see, so okay, here's some watching some kittens, and they're starting to talk about the kittens shouldn't be like that, and and then I don't think they're coming back anymore.
Yeah, I was about to ask you, do you think they would ever think about coming back? You say no.
No. I think if they had not been this the first time when they tried to come back, it's just a few months ago. They had it on for a day or two, but I don't think no. But I must say, there was someone saying that if you're showing up like that, you need to take critics. No, that's not true. I would say like this, that you can see here, when you come in now at my home, I invited people in to my home, my life. It's like me open a door, letting a physical person come in here. It's no difference if you're watching from other side of that camera or coming into my home here. You are invited. Do you really go and criticize everyone you go into? Oh, you invited me. You need to be. You need to take critics. You're a public person now because I'm here. Now I have the right to criticize you and how you live. No, you don't, I guess. So why should you do that just because you are watching in my life? People on Spied Life try to change everyone to their image.
All right.
People telling you shouldn't do this. Well, you don't do that. That's okay. Let they do what they want. Their life is not yours. You can't live their lives, and you can't make them a copy of your life. And God bless, we don't want that, because at least they are on Spied Life and you are not. They are a personality or at least we can show up our life and we stand for it. You are on the other side. If you're one of those that go in and criticize and try to change us, you aren't even showing your life. So you get what I mean,
Right.
hopefully. We don't need to, you're not having the right to criticize us. You can have opinions, that's something, but there's a big difference between having opinion and criticize. Criticize is meaning that I think you're doing something wrong. Yes, you think that, but you don't need to mention that. We don't need that.
Right.
That's also why so many don't read the chats here on SPIEDLIFE, I think.
I don't even read half of the comments people send on our videos, so I understand exactly what you're talking about. To wrap up with those guys, you said Mildred's doing nails and stuff. Any word about what's going on with Roger?
No, he is making tattoos. Yeah.
Are they- do they still live in the same place?
He listen, and watching big booties. That was his thing. Big booties and tattoos and smoking
Are they
weed.
still in the same place? Do they still live that same house?
Oh, to be honest, this is a tricky question because at first, I saw they're like, oh, are they moving? They're packing, but no, I think they still live in the same place. I don't really know. I am not like chatting and talking much. So, but I follow. I have as a friend. So
It's cool. I would love for them to come back. I mean, you can tell them for me. I would love for them to come back. They were definitely entertaining. The next person we're going to talk about is someone who I believe I was blamed for them leaving. Creed directly blamed me for them being gone. He said, Mikey, it's your fault she's gone. It's your fault. I called her shovel face, and I believe you said her name is Luann or something like that.
Luanna. I can't say.
Now, she
Italian.
was another one that was she an aspiring actress or something like that?
Oh no, she was studying. She was an actor. She had studied for a long period, and so this is a one camera that I liked quite well. To be honest, also because for several reasons. And no, you are not to blame. I know maybe a part of it, but not to blame. The thing is, she really active.
Mm-hmm.
Here is someone you really follow the life. At this period, there were cameras. I will not. We come to them later on. Also, in if it be any more episodes in the future.
Mm-hmm.
There were lots of cameras showing rooms.
Right.
Not even a person. A kitchen with a sign. And maybe, if you were lucky, you could see someone getting a glass of water and walk out from the room. And they call themselves the active, happy family, blah, 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 blah. We have all the slogans. The slogan for her was, let me show you all my thousand me. So... But she was a scholar in actor and so on. And you see here, she brought a mobile phone when she watched TV. She mother and friends came. Remember, this was also under COVID, so she were not out that much and lockdowns and so on. But she were active. You saw her perform and train, and she had one camera when she slept, and not with a booty angle.
No, very modest.
That is so common now.
Yeah,
that's the new
dressed.
trend here.
Yeah.
And she sometimes talked in her sleep, and she farted in her sleep.
She farted real hard in her sleep.
Well, you should hear me. I blow my blanket off sometimes. That's
And that was the time that Creed said it was my fault she left, because I caught her farting one night when she was sleeping. And
no,
you know,
I can tell you, it's fun that you mentioned that, because around this time, it was a person coming on SPIEDLIFE. He was on M&R also. All he talked about was farts. Oh, dear, fart. And I scared the crap out of that person. I don't know if I can tell if any interest, because the way that person wrote was, oh, this is some kid. So, and they used an account from connected to Facebook. You know, you can either use Facebook or, and then I went in. That was a lady, a middle-aged lady, and okay, this is her son. So I said, okay, and I said the name and said, I'm now going to tag you in. I made a screenshot of all you said here. Now I'm going to tag you on Facebook and put that picture so everyone that knows you see what you're going out on the internet and say to people. And that guy for a one, and then I didn't say anything, and and we blanked. No one said anything, and he said, "Oh no, don't do that." And he come to our everyone. Are you here? Are you here? Are you going to kill me now? He was so frightened. I didn't do it. I didn't even take a screenshot. I didn't need to. But so yeah. But I think
with her, one of the things that we noticed with her room seemed like a child's room in a way, a little juvenile-ish. And sometimes I don't know if she was acting or what she was doing. She come off like she was acting younger than she was, because I don't believe she was all that young at this point.
I think well, first of all, it's a female.
Mm-hmm.
I think she maybe remember she's studying, so maybe 1920, around 1920, 21, maybe 18 to 21, some around there, because she also study, so I don't think she was so old. And at that age, you have a mix. I think many has still their favorite dolls and so on. And then they have another side that they're starting to put up posters of this. And it's not like us. We go from, oh, now now I'm going to have motorcycles, and now it's boobs, and now it's, we go like, we change our room.
Let me clarify what he's saying. Sometimes females aren't as they don't try and act grown right away, where a guy is going to jump out there and next thing you know, he's all about this, that, and the other. She was a little more sheltered, I think, in a way. Maybe it was the way she was raised or something like that, that she just had this aura about her that she gave off that she was a younger person than she actually was. We were kind of, I remember the first time we came through, we were a little frightened, because we were like, is this like a teenage girl or something? Because that's the feeling she gave off. Do you know anything about her now, like where she's at, or if she's acting or anything?
No, I'm a little surprised that she went off, to be honest, because it was like she was quite popular, I think. She had always viewers, and lots of people were talking, and she did talk. I stand corrected. I'm not a female.
All the women there.
No, I were mentioning. Sorry, no women do that. I am apologize to the whole female, every female around the world. But the thing is, she was quite popular. Many viewers and people chatted, and they were quite nice in the chat mostly, and so on. And she had a regular, and she talked sometimes. She was not super active, but she came in at least once and twice a week and chatted up a little bit and talked. But then I think she mentioned why she left in the chat when it was time, and she's like, it's time for me to move on. And it's nothing with that happened in the chat.
Right.
So I don't know if something had happened and there been something in the chat that I missed, because I had the work to do. I don't sit in front and watch every minute and so on. So you know what I mean. It could be something had happened, and I think that maybe she thought about leaving. I have thoughts about leaving sometimes also. You know,
How do you know when it's time to leave? That's
I think you just feel it.
okay.
But for her, maybe she had started. Yeah, now it's getting old. It's because you may think it's just easy, but yes, in some way it is easy to have a camera. It's just be yourself and so on. But at the same time, you need to think about some things. I need to place my camera on a certain way every night because I sleep nude. And if I go and get water at the middle of night, I wouldn't be, the camera. So you need to think about those things. You get you get routine about it, but it still is in your head and so on. And so I think maybe she felt like it's time, and then the thing that made her decision was things happen in the chat.
The chat seems to be a big factor in all three of these families that we checked out today.
Yeah,
big factors in them leaving every time.
Yeah, I think the chat is not. Now I'm throwing out number here. Everyone can correct me if they want, but I'm guessing up to, especially for females, but also for some male. I think most of the females leave because the chat eventually.
Yeah.
I wish there were a possibility for us to turn off the chat if we wanted to. So they that don't want to have a chat can just disable chat. And for they that want to have a chat, just have it. But then you also need to remember that you need to handle stuff. I must say, goes to everyone that watches my chat. I'm so glad. It's like, yeah.
Sorry, I'm just saying I'm a kid too. Go ahead.
My chat is so nice. I have some coming in. I had some coming in and ask why I were doing this, and when I was, you're depressed and blah blah. Why do you do with these bullies and blah blah blah? The old story,
Yeah.
But it's not. They asking. They are nice, but I've seen so much through the years now that I understand why some people leave. And I think many do leave because of that, but also because everything has its time.
Yeah.
For some people, this was, this could be fun. And it was fun for a period. Some thought this would be something else, and it ended up with not being what they thought. So, but I think also some come in and think they're going to get super famous and super rich, and oh no.
Well, here's the question. I mean, you were talking first. Let me say something about disabling the chat. I'm gonna say this now. That'll never happen, because the chat portion and people, not just the people chatting in the chat, but the people that read the chat keep coming back. They're coming back either to be nasty, or they're coming back to see who's being nasty.
Yeah, but remember, for those that read that, for us to see someone fighting about my life, or someone else that's against the rule. First of all, you are not allowed to talk about someone else in my chat, for example. Right. It's in the rule, but no one's had read the rules. But I'm not interested. People have tried to get me into involved in others' fights.
Yes,
I'm not in the beginning. I tried to help and fight and get in, but I realized no, I can't take that. I'm not the moderator or anything. I'm just me being here, and they need to solve their problems and so on.
We talk a lot about reason people leave. What's the reason people start in the first place? It seems like everybody has you have to have an agenda, right, to do this. Either you want to be more involved with people without having to actually have contact with them. Some of these people have to want to be famous or something. There's got to be a lot of reasons that people would do this. Do you agree? Not agree?
Of course there's some reason, but for me, agenda is like having a goal set. But I don't agree with that. But you a reason, of course. It's not like I stumble in here and now I'm stuck. You apply to be here, so you need to. But I must say before that we should not forget that all that been here has not left.
Right.
Some have been
talking about people.
Some have been kicked out also. Some had said like, no, you're a gunner, you shouldn't be here anymore. So it's not everyone hasn't left. Some may have also been kicked out for some reasons and so on. So that maybe not broke the contract or something that wasn't appropriate and so on. So there is also that factor.
So with that said, we talked about the family that's been here the longest. Who is that?
Yeah. Do we no guesses at all?
There was tons of guesses. As soon as you asked, everybody was guessing from all over.
Okay. Do you have any one of the guesses?
There were people guessing. Somebody said Star. There were people saying, "Oh my God,
Star is wrong." No, Star is wrong.
There was one saying the Favorita house was one that some people guessed, as well as, of course, what else was it? There was another few down here that were. Casa Monica seems to be a very big one that people are guessing. Which one is it?
I can tell you the first that started here on SPIEDLIFE, when it started, I think it was 2018 or something it started. You don't take exactly the year there. Is Casa Monica. And she has never turned off the cameras. It could be an internet problem and so on, but not turned off. But there were three cameras starting at the same time. Casa Monica and La Forteza. I think I pronounced it quite La Forteza. And Casa delle Arte. And are the three that started first. And then I think also Gaia, what's it called? This Un Café con Gaia.
Look at this great shot right here.
Yeah,
don't
she is
never
one
let
of
it be
the but she has been on and off and so
yeah,
on. So.
it's nothing new right now with her.
No, I think she has been away, but she has come back. But people now starting. But those three are the first one, and also this Cafe con Gaia has never shut down the camera either.
I think they had. She has the prison door here.
Yeah.
I think she's locked up in the Hooskow. Not really sure, but yeah. And those are all cameras who, like, when I look back on some of the old videos, they were some of the first ones we went to. And it's good to see people with longevity, but we always need new blood. New blood. Can you pass that on to Mario? We need some new blood coming in.
Well, I'm working on it. You know, in your excellent Discord, I put and we have Carol, but now that Carol that was so interested, starting to hide behind the rocks and say, no, not now. I can't do it now. So we see, but everyone, this is for real. If anyone is interested on being a part of this, I call it a project. It is an experience, and there is a little common. If you look at all these cameras, I know I'm jumping in my sentence here now, but I just want. There is a common on almost everyone. There are some artistics. Everyone is some artistic in some way. Casa Sisi dancing and stuff. Favorita, I don't know if that's so much, but many of these are having an artist. They are either paint,
right,
sing, acting, dancing. Look at all the cameras. You know the two, the two guys that live together, the gay guys, the older gay guys.
The Babbles,
lots of dancing and doing stuff. That is a quite common line through the whole cast, if we can call it that, or and has been. Look at all. We shouldn't bench too many here now, but makeup artists and you see, there is a common on most of these cameras. They have some artist's side or creative side,
right.
if maybe it's more correct.
And see, if anyone here that's watching right now, if you're watching this at any point in time, you too can become a part of Spied Life. It's pretty easy to. What's the easiest way for people to go ahead and try and get on?
They can either the easiest way, if they're really interested and want to know anything more, come into my chat or go to my Facebook page for Mad Cave if you have Facebook, and I will tell you how to watch any answer what you have, and I can send a form that you can sign up, read about what you and sign up. And you can, of course, mail to the Spied Life also and take it that way. But I have a special form that you can sign up if you want to.
It seems like a good deal. I know me and Creed have both been approached, and we've both said no, we don't want to do this.
I'm on you, Mike.
Yeah, I told Creed, I was like, he's broke me down a little bit about bringing in a camera or two, but we'll see.
As I said, hey, listen up, chat. Now, Mikey, chat, listen. You have a very interesting man there, Mikey the Legend. I said, yeah, but you don't need to have a camera in your house, everywhere. Yeah, I told him you can have it in your little studio where you sit in your underwear and t-shirt and make all your jingles and stuff and having your shows and have it like a studio cam being here. So when you're doing voyage, you are on voyage and do the chases and all the good stuff you do throw out there. You can have it only. So everyone, break him, get him on there. Yeah, you see, Rachel, do it, Mike, and that's the thing. He can even have it in the back, so you just see his fancy backhead, like and so and see what he really serves when he say he's watching Spied Life.
Yeah, I'm busy doing other things. In trouble.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Spied Life. If you haven't checked it out, go over there, spiedlife.com. It's free. Some of the cameras are not, but you're gonna get so much for free. It is really, really worth it. Go ahead.
May I say this quickly? I know I talk a lot, but I need to say it because you say that some cameras are not free. I need to point out that if you're new here now, I don't know how many that watches here on YouTube, but the thing is, when you buy premium, don't expect that is something adult. It's nothing extra. It's not you. It's an extra cam you can see. We can all choose to have a cam locked with premium. Premium is a way to support us. If you want to support a cam with premium, be a subscriber, you need to be on that camera when you press the subscribe, and then that camera get a little money from the subscription. That's why they have that. We have this opportunity to make one camera premium, so people, okay, I will support by subscribing, but you unlock every premium cam. It's not so even if you support, for example, the one that shouldn't be mentioned. If you are and you support, you press subscription there, you get you support that camera, but you get every premium.
Right, get it all.
Yeah.
And you got Friends in Manila coming up soon. I can't wait to see that. That's going to be a whole nother ball of wax in comparison to what we're doing over here on Spied Life.
And if that goes well, that will be more upcoming news on that.
Very well. Mad Cave, thank you for joining us. Again, thank you to everybody who was nice enough to send over a dono, like David. Your support is what keeps us going, and your love, magic, that kind of thing, where you guys are awesome. Please check out Spied Life. Make sure you join us for each and every voyage twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 1 p.m. Eastern time. Myself and Credence right here watching it, doing our thing. Mad Cave, thank you so much, my friend.
Thank you, and thank everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everybody. You heard them.